world, except hi.
We're live right as you sat down.
Woo! Hello, welcome to Hollywood Matrimony Live. We are now live on Facebook and also on YouTube. We're fancy.
I guess. Look at. I think it's backwards though.
Is
like
it?
Our sign's backwards.
How do you flip it?
I don't know. So we'll have to mess with that later. Today's our first show.
We don't know what we're doing
on YouTube Live. So
whatever, man.
Hopefully. Oh, I picked my nose in public. Sorry.
That's okay. Everything's going to be A-okay. As always, please remember to check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Hopefully, you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube at Hollywood Matrimony. Don't forget, you can also find us on the Twitter at Hollywood Matter, M-A-T-R. And, of course, we're also on Instagram at Hollywood Matrimony. All right. That's all that junk.
Now, so we just, for the people that might join us on YouTube, we needed to say it now. We have 146 shows.
Yes.
This is number 147.
Yes.
Been doing this for a couple of years. What did I tell you? It was our 3-year anniversary or 2-year anniversary?
I feel like it's our 3-year because we started in
just the other day. It was the official anniversary was just the other day.
Yeah, we started in 2016.
So this is like year 3?
Yep.
All right.
So we're doing really good.
But
we're not complete hacks.
No, but
we're
because
kind of hacks, but
yeah,
not really.
We're half-assed.
Yeah.
But because of the way YouTube is set up, it's not letting me upload the videos, the past shows, unless I upload them in the order that we did them individually.
Oh, so we could upload them, but it would
I can
show
upload
like
them, but I have to download each one. No, I'd have to download each one and then upload it. Like I'd have to go back to number 1 and upload it in order that we did the show, all 100 and plus shows. So it would show up. So it would show up in order on the page.
This is why we need a free intern.
No, it's because YouTube doesn't allow you to do it any other way.
I know, but we need an intern to do this work for us.
Well, we don't need to now that we can do live.
That's true.
So if you look at our page right now on YouTube, it says like episode 4, episode 5, or no, it's episode 5, episode 4, episode 4, 146, 145, 147. It's all over the place because we were trying to get it set up and then it wouldn't let me rearrange. But it doesn't matter. So from now on, we'll be going live on YouTube as well, and then it'll be in order. So if you want to see the old shows, you can go back to our Facebook page and watch any of them, or you go to our website.
Hollywood Matrimony Live. Go up to the top where it says live shows,
and
you will find it.
Even though it's backwards, it's up behind us, so I'm assuming it's showing backwards. We're gonna have to figure that out later on. So that's one thing at a time I got to deal with.
Yeah, you need to figure out. Go to your camera settings.
Well, I will, but we didn't get that far ahead. This is the first thing we did.
We just wanted it to record.
So we apologize for our shady business, and for anybody that's new to our show.
We're a mess.
We are a mess.
So you
know.
We
eat on the show.
I eat. There's burping. We talk about boogies. We talk about farting.
Oh, somebody told me the show is working and the banner is not backwards. So thank you.
Thank you. We're so excited.
We eat on the show.
I was saying we talk about we do
nonsense.
We get into major arguments.
We do. Our my dog Vader shows up from time to time.
Vader will show up.
He's currently asleep on the floor. So anyway, just to give you an update, we're cheap by design.
Yeah.
This one in the past, if you watch some of the old shows in the past, she's tried to set up lights.
I have lights and it's charging right now.
We had a light that actually fell on your head one time during the show. We've had a lot of situations. My favorite one to reverse back because I was telling somebody about it.
He heard this clip sound.
I was telling somebody at the convention yesterday. I met somebody dressed as a predator.
Oh.
And I was telling him that it was a little kid, and his dad makes it. But on one of the shows when we talked about the Predator
I love
movie,
Predator.
She told me during the show, she goes, "I want to be a child predator," and then she said, "Wait, no," and it just came out wrong, obviously, but
a child-sized predator
or a kid version of the predator race.
But now I know somebody that makes them,
so we're gonna find out. We'll go from there. Anyway, so let's get to today's show.
All right.
So what are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about a few different things.
Do you even know?
Yeah, I know we're talking about Shut your mouth.
You shut your
mouth. We're going to talk about Men in Black.
International.
And then we watched a movie, an Amazon movie. I don't remember. Oh, Daughter of the Wolf.
Daughter of the Wolf, starring my girlfriend Gina Carano.
This dude. And then a bunch of other nonsense.
And we watched the new Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston movie,
Murder Mystery, Netflix movie.
On Netflix. So
funny.
Those will be the 4 we're going to talk about today, and then of course all of our other random nonsense. I wore this same shirt at the convention yesterday because that's how I roll.
I just picked a random movie shirt.
It's Father's Day, so I just threw the same shirt on, so I didn't care. You people didn't even know that, but in case somebody from the convention is watching, and be like, does that guy ever change clothes?
He doesn't.
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Nah. Anyway,
right.
So Which one do you want to go with first? Oh, and there's also The Dead Don't Die that I saw, but you haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you want to start with?
I don't care. We saw all of them together except for one.
Okay, well, let's start with Shaft, because that's what's
Shaft.
up on my screen.
So, for anybody if you have half a brain, you know that during the 70s, 60s, 70s, there was a Shaft film starring Richard Roundtree. He actually did 3 of them. It was Shaft, Shaft, I don't remember the second one's name, and it's like Shaft Strikes Back kind of title. That's not the title. And then I know there was Shaft Goes to Africa or something.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever seen any of the original ones.
Well, and then jump way ahead, they did kind of a reboot to the Shaft series with
Shaft in Africa. Look at you.
I know that part. Like in 2000 with the Samuel L. Jackson led movie Shaft, which it is a continuation of the original because in this movie Shaft is his uncle.
Yes, Richard Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree is in this movie, a cameo, a smaller role, but he is Shaft's nephew. Mm-hmm. So it kept the whole connection to the series alive. This movie did fairly well. I never understood why it didn't get a sequel back then, but for whatever reason it didn't.
I know, because I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
I do too. I mean, it's very generic action movie. It's nothing.
It was good.
But it's Samuel L. Jackson cussing and killing and beating up people, which is always a good thing. So anyway, so you jump ahead all these years. Originally, the movie was called Shaft Jr.
Oh,
and they changed it to just Shaft again.
Yeah.
But this time we have Jesse T. Usher, who's playing Shaft Jr., Samuel L. Jackson, and Richard Roundtree again. Mm-hmm. So it's actually yet another soft reboot / sequel to the original films and the new film. Mm-hmm. And then through one line, they kind of retcon Richard Roundtree into being Shaft's dad. So now it's grandpa, dad and son. And when they showed it on the trailer, I was like, what? Why is he calling him grandpa? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But they do a smart thing because it makes sense with the character and how they behave and that kind of thing.
This camera's crooked. I can't handle it.
You're going to have to get over it for today. So, but anyway, okay. So what did you think of the new one? Because it has a different tone than the others. I know you haven't seen the originals, but
yeah, I haven't. I liked it. I mean, it had a lot of kind of funny moments, but it also had the good serious stuff. There's lots of shooting and a little bit of violence and all of the bad words. A little bit of violence. Oh, the bad words you expect him to say.
Yeah, they fully engaged the rated R.
But I like one of the cool things that they really did was, now that we have Junior or whatever his name is, and bringing him from like the modern side of technology and how he uses technology to do his work. And then you have Shaft, very old school, just in the neighborhood, knowing people, and kind of bringing those two cultures together. So I thought that was funny and very clever.
Well, and I think that's why they had to make the kind of the humor to it, because so much of the stuff that they deal with now is kind of funny by unintentional design.
Yeah.
And skinny jeans to me are hilarious. I don't understand why anybody wears that, but that's people's business. And it's to be able to make fun of it and point it out, which the movie's not really making fun of it. It's Shaft is like old school.
Yeah.
And he would be classified as the toxic masculinity of today, where Shaft Jr. is the sensitive.
Yes, yeah.
The sensitive side that people
think. He's like, you can't say that.
Yeah, and then but then it's also kind of, it plays both sides where it says, you can't say that about a certain person. The other person's like, why not? I wasn't thinking about it like this. I was doing this because of the situation. And then gets knocked out and kind of proves like, this is why you had to do this, because they were going to smack you. And I already knew that.
Yeah.
But you think you can talk, so it has some malice. But then the flip side of it, when there's moments like when old Shaft is like, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. We're going to go crack some heads and find this. He goes, why don't I just hack into the database and find the address? And then he does it, and then he goes, oh, that's how it's
like, I didn't know.
So it shows the benefits of both sides.
Yes, it's very funny.
In a humorous way, because Shaft Jr., they could have made him just this bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
And a mockery of him, and from the trailer, it kind of looks like he is. But in the movie, he's actually...
Well, and there's a reason.
He's useful. He's got skills. He can fight. It's a funny fight scene, but it works.
So funny.
And it talks about why he can shoot. And it all makes sense.
It all comes together.
But it helps him kind of find his place, as a man, as a person, as a police officer.
And as a Shaft. And I like that no matter how funny or cliche, they always throw the line in there.
Which one?
He's I can't say it, because they're like, shut your mouth.
Oh, that he's a bad mother. Yeah,
it's awesome.
And I love that they
love it.
because I don't honestly remember if the original Shaft said it, but I know in the 2000 one, Samuel L. Jackson is the one that says it's my duty to please that booty, and so they work that line in again in a new way. So it's kind of funny.
The only thing I did not like is not having the Shaft
the Isaac Hayes music. I don't know why that was a choice. I read an article. We talked about it.
Was it something with him?
No, because like the estate,
he's
Isaac Hayes died.
Estate.
But I want to say it was his son, but the estate were trying to contact him, but they wanted. He said he had some unreleased tracks that he was wanting to hopefully be able to use of Isaac Hayes, and for whatever reason, they never did it. And so who knows? I mean, the music's not bad. Most of it's fine.
When
the Shaft song at the end is that takes you kind of out of it. Like she's right in the middle of it, right in the music starts. She's like.
I'm like, no, it's that guy, the auto tune.
Well, I don't know which guy it is. It's just
it's horrible. It was horrible.
But there is some awesome Eric B. and Rakim and some DOS effects. Like my favorite song of all time is "They Want Effects" by DOS Effects. And as soon as it clicks, she's like the way the beat hits on that one. She's like, and so now I'm not even watching the movie. I'm doing the song, and
I was ready for the bum skitty doo.
So, and I think we're the only two people that were singing it.
We were. It was, and I was surprised. Is it old? I guess.
The song, that song came out when I was like in high school.
Oh well, I know it, so I don't know what's wrong.
Because you live with me, you have to hear it hundreds of times.
I know, but my version is when I'm paying bills. I'm like, I'm writing checks. I'm writing lots of checks. I know it's not as
You're
fun.
a maroon.
I'm a nerd.
You is a nerd.
That's okay.
Anyway,
go check out Shaft.
So Shaft is a fun movie. It is kind of foul. I mean, the F-bomb is left and right. The P word for the lady parts is dropped a lot. There are some boobage in it.
Yeah. A little bit of nudity.
And I will say, I was really annoyed in the trailer because I thought his mouth was all white and like wet when you first see him.
Oh no!
But you don't see it. Well, I didn't see it in the trailer. I couldn't see what it was. It looked glistening, so I had a whole different view of what we're going to think Shaft had done. But then when the movie, it's very clear.
Yeah, it's funny.
So it was very funny. But anyway, I enjoyed Shaft.
I did too. I really liked it.
Sadly, it was like number 8 or number 4 this week. It was very small.
I hope we do another one though.
I'd set it up, but I don't think we will because it just didn't.
Because I like the young guy that was in it.
Jesse T. Usher. I didn't think I was going to like him. He did okay. And I was very happy to see that Richard Roundtree actually got stuff to do. He got to come in and shoot some people and smack some people around.
He did good, man. I liked it. It was really good.
I like there's a scene where a guy punches him in the face. He's like, hey, it's not bad. So he's showing that he's still a tough guy. Anyway, so Shaft's in theater now. If you want to see something different and fun, just go check it out. Tim Story, who directed it, same person I believe did the Ride Along movies with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart.
Nice.
So
there you go.
If you hated the original Shaft, if you hated the Samuel L. Jackson 2000 Shaft, then you're going to hate this movie too, probably. So don't watch it. But I did read a review that just went off on it because it was talking about how it being misogynistic, and it was just.
But that's the whole point of the character.
I know Shaft is a product of the time,
and I think that's what JJ or his son or whatever we call
Junior.
Him. Yeah, Junior. I don't know. I don't know what his name. Junior brings to the movie. That's the whole point. Is he's bringing the perspective like, oh my gosh, you can't say that. You can't do that.
Yeah, he was the voice of people. He was the voice of the people now.
Yes.
And
so it does address the issue. It's just not flat out, misogynistic against women completely. I mean, it brings a voice.
No, Shaft is, but that's because it's him. He doesn't see anything wrong with it, and the women in it don't have a problem with it. They're like, ooh, baby. So it's that balance.
I mean, if there was a real life Shaft that everybody wanted, like right now, that would probably be Keanu Reeves.
No,
I would be okay with that. Keanu, you can treat me any way you want.
The Keanu Science.
I am part of the Keanu.
I read another one that says now Keanu Reeves is so popular, like now the internet is full of Keanu tent. That's what they call it. Yes, we've hit a Keanu Science full of Keanu tent.
I love it.
Anyway, all right. So Shaft is in theaters now. We both had a blast with it.
I liked it.
I would watch it again, and I probably will. Not necessarily in the theaters, but so moving on.
Tell me about this movie that you saw.
Dead Don't
Lots of
Die.
people are very excited about it.
Yeah, The Dead Don't Die is probably, and it's funny on the poster. It says something like the biggest cast. Oh, you pulled it up. The greatest cast ever disassembled. Zombie cast, because it's got a huge cast. It's got Adam Driver, Bill Murray, Chloe Sevigny, Tilda Swinton, Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover, Rosie Perez, Iggy Pop, Selena Gomez,
That's
the
so
RZA.
random. It's so random.
Yeah, and Jim Jarmusch, which I hope I'm saying his name right. The director of the movie, he's the same one that did Ghost Dog with a Samurai, which I love. I'm a huge fan of. He did Patterson and Dead Man with Johnny Depp. He does some kind of weird stuff, but a lot of times there's some kind of commentary to it. And with this one, I absolutely love this movie. Like it's probably up on one of my tops for the year so far. Just because it's you know me, I love like weird characters.
I know you like
I like quirky things, but this is one of those movies that, as much as I love it, I completely understand when someone hates it.
Okay.
Because this is not a movie for everybody.
Oh,
you know, this is like, I was talking to somebody at the convention about the movie Rubber. It's one of those movies.
I like Rubber.
Yeah, Rubber's awesome, but it's one of those that
absolutely no
has
sense,
no reason working.
Does.
Yeah, it has no business working, but it does.
You're either going to think it's completely dumb or you're going to like it.
But this one is not your normal zombie movie. It's a lot of long diatribes of dialogues, and Bill Murray and Adam Driver have this very dry discussions. It's like they're having a conversation and saying things like, "So, what do you think about this crime scene?" He's like, "Well, you know," like there's a scene in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, where he's like, "So, what are you thinking this might be?" when they see the first zombie attack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's like, for no reason, there's nothing that says zombies might be here.
Right.
Right? It's just these bloody bodies that have been eaten look like my animals. And he goes, "So, what do you really think?" He goes, "I'm thinking zombies." He's like, "Zombies?" He goes, "Yeah, ghouls."
So it's kind of aware.
Yeah, the whole movie is self-aware, because there's even dialogue later in the movie where they're talking about things that took it in totally left turn. I was cracking up. The people that I was watching it with were cracking up.
Oh, good.
They cheered when it was over.
Were you at a screening or a regular?
I was at a screening. Okay. Yeah, and
well, that's a big deal to get.
It's just one of those
get critics to react.
Yeah, and it's just one of those. It's such a weird movie that you either will like it or hate it. I don't think there's an in between. Like, I saw one of my friends posted, I guess he took his daughter to see it, and he said that, "I want my money back," because he hated it. And he made some comments about certain things, which I'm like, well, it's because of this, but I get it, because it's an acquired taste movie.
Yeah.
You know? So, anyway, The Dead Don't Die is one of those movies it's a zombie flick, but it's completely different and original. It's, you know, I always say we're in the world of remakes and sequels, and everybody complains about they want something different. We got something different, and nobody goes and sees it.
You need to go see it.
So if you want something different, stop complaining and watch other weird stuff.
It didn't do horribly bad.
Yeah,
did it?
Yeah. I didn't even see it on the list of the top whatever.
Oh, that was opening. Box office. Ooh.
Yeah, it's not even on the top 5 or 6.
Yikes.
So, but it's just one of those movies to me that was just, is it even up there? I don't even know if people saw it.
Well, go see it.
But I also don't know if it got a super wide release either.
I don't think it did yet.
I think it did open, but not like, it's a small movie, but it's great. I had a blast with it. It's got some good zombie kills in it. It's got some laughs. A lot of the cameos in it are literally just that. They're like,
just quick.
Like the RZA has one scene, which, you know who the RZA is?
I do.
What movie was he in?
He was in that one with the ninja thing with the Iron Fist.
Close enough. Man with Iron Fist.
Fist.
Yes. What rap group was he part of?
The RZA and Friends.
That's close. That is close.
I don't remember
the
what
Wu-Tang
they're called. Wu-Tang.
Who was also in Shaft. Method Man was there, who was from the Wu-Tang.
Yes.
And she's like, who is it? We're having a super silent discussion in the theater because there wasn't that many people.
I'm like,
and she's like,
it's a rap guy. I know that.
And then she starts naming every person except for Method Man. And then she goes, why would I know that? I'm like, you're the one that decided to start naming them off. I assumed you know who Method Man is.
I know who he is. I haven't seen him in a long time.
He looks the same as he did when he first came out.
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyway.
Sorry.
But the RZA has like one little scene.
Mr. Method Man.
And it's actually a really funny scene. And anyway, I loved this movie. I hope people see it as it kind of grows. I think it's going to become one of those like a cult classic kind of thing. But
it did release nationwide.
It is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if people bash it and hate it.
No, but people that we know, like a lot of our friends, were really excited to see it. So I mean, if you're into zombie stuff, and you'll see it.
If you just like weird, quirky movies, this very much reminded me of like Napoleon Dynamite in the zombie world.
Oh, okay.
But not that weird, but
weird.
Every character, like Tilda Swinton character is like a.
Oh, I love her anyway.
She's always weird looking. So she's like a coroner, but she's kind of a samurai, like complete with the sword and the hair, and she walks very like a soldier, like RoboCop. She walks straight and she stops, she turns, and then she walks the next direction. She
hilarious.
says everybody's full name when she talks to them.
I love it. That's already going to be
She'd
funny.
be like, hello, Drusilla Blakey. You know, it's very straightforward the whole time, so it's funny.
Okay, it was only in 600 theaters. Okay, well then that explains.
Maybe it'll explain, but yeah, it was excellent, and I highly, highly suggest it if you like weird, quirky stuff.
Yeah, go check
Moving on.
Moving on then. All right, so now let's talk about another movie we just watched. Let's talk
Did you even say
about. I did. Let's talk about the one we just watched today.
What was that?
It was an Amazon. Is it a Prime?
We didn't watch anything about the Amazons.
Is it a Prime release?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Amazon Prime release. It is starring Bobby's girlfriend.
And soon to be star of The Mandalorian for Star Wars.
That's going to be such a fun show. Anyways, it's called Daughter of the Wolf.
It's Gina Carano, who, fun fact, also trained in the same place under Master Toddy that I trained, Muay Thai.
Also, fun fact, when we saw her at the panel, I was like, I love you, Gina! And the entire stadium started clapping. That was me, guys.
And just, I want this on record because I'm sure I've said it every time we've talked about, I'm starting to do a guy like Sean Evans on Hot Ones with my finger now.
You watch that show?
I do. I watch it too much.
We love Hot Ones.
Hashtag
Hot Ones.
I want it
on that in there.
I want it on the record that I have been a fan of Gina Carano before most people knew who she was.
Yes.
Not only was I a fan when she was Crush on the reboot of American Gladiators, I watched her Muay Thai fighting. So before she got haywire in her first film, Blood and Bone with Michael Jai White. Yeah, I said it.
What? Okay, so you are a true fan.
She was in Deadpool. If you don't know, still don't know what we're talking about.
That's okay.
Anyway.
Hello. People are joining. Hello. Engage.
So anyway, Daughter of the Wolf. It also stars Richard Dreyfuss, which was a kind of a crazy team up of Gina Carano and Richard Dreyfuss, and it's kind of a revenge, crime, action, adventure type film, right? That would be the idea of the tone of the movie. So before I tell you my thoughts, what did you think of the movie?
It was okay. I think she was good in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the action sequences she did were okay. My problem is I don't understand why, when you have someone that is obviously like a real life good fighter, why do they film it so slowly? Like the action was slow.
Okay, so
I think it should be like boom, boom.
I have
boom,
theories
boom,
on
boom,
those.
boom, boom.
I have theories on that because you look at who they put them up to fight.
Oh, maybe so.
I have a feeling that like if you have Gina Carano fighting some random actor who is not a fighter.
Yeah, it's true.
She already has to slow down for them to keep up with her. She also got to make sure she doesn't hurt the person because if she's not fighting a stuntman who's trained to do that, in some of the shots you can't do that.
Well, they need better.
But my problem, here's my big problem, and it's not just Gina Carano. It's anytime you cast somebody who's known for fighting, wrestling, anything. You know, if you put one of the WWE stars in a movie or whatever, is why don't you let them fight?
Yeah.
You know, now I get there are cases where somebody like Gina or Van Damme or something, they want to do something different.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily want to be just jump kicking splits and stuff. I'm fine with that.
But when you see Jean-Claude, you expect that to happen.
But I'm fine with that. But he's like for instance, with some of his other movies recently, he's kind of changed the tone where he's still fighting, but he's playing a different kind of character that's not Karate Man. Yeah. And her character wasn't necessarily a karate lady.
I know,
but she only had one real fight scene in the whole movie, and even it was crap.
Yeah, it was too bad.
It was just a bad fight scene, not because of her. It was just a bad, slow, done shot. And there's the movie for the scope of the movie, like a lot of it's in like the mountains and the snow, and it's a survival kind of thing, and it's very slow.
It is slow.
It's only an hour and a half, so I mean, they were at least.
It felt like an hour and a half. Like I fell asleep and took a nap and came back and continued watching.
Yeah, but in your defense, you were going to fall asleep no matter what we watched.
Maybe because I had a full belly from lunch.
Because she's always sleeps like 20 hours a day.
I require naps. I'm part cat lady and I cat nap.
Anyway, so it was one of those that I was excited to see because it's Gina Carano, but at the end of it, the movie was just average at best.
Yeah.
If you don't know who she is.
Well, where have you been?
Well, it might be one of those movies. It's okay. It's like one of those you'd rent. It's like a rental. It's not a theater movie you'd watch, and it's obvious why. It's still weird that Richard Dreyfuss was in that movie.
Well, and you're gonna get to know her. She's gonna be in the new Star Wars television series,
The Mandalorian, also starring
You'll get to know her.
Pablo Pascal and Carl Weathers.
Oh my gosh! And I had no idea he was going to be in that show. So when we go to the panel, I'm excited just because I know Jon Favreau is going to be there.
Right.
I love Jon Favreau.
Who created The Mandalorian?
Yes, and so he comes out,
alongside
and the other guy,
Dave Filoni,
the guy with the cowboy hat.
Yes.
And so she comes out, I'm like, woo! And the other guy, I'm like, oh, I remember him. And then Carl Weathers, I'm like, what? Because I love Rocky. So it's just, I was freaking out.
And
it's
did you know,
fun show.
Carl Weathers, fun fact?
What's that?
That his character, Combat Carl, in the Toy Story franchise, was named by Tom Hanks.
Yes, we found that out this week.
It's a dumb fact, but we have it nonetheless.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway, so yeah, it's one of those movies. It's I don't think it's on video or anything yet, but it is on demand, on digital, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We watched it on Amazon. I strictly watched it because of Gina. I'm partial, so I may give it probably better review as far as enjoying it just because Gina's on screen. But if you watch it, just look at it as more of like a straight-to-video kind of throwaway movie and watch it for what it is, or don't watch it at all.
I'm going to say starring Bobby's girlfriend.
You know, I throw out Bobby's girlfriend.
How do you spell it?
Carano.
Thank you.
Don't put Bobby's girlfriend.
Well,
Then people are going to think we're really dating.
Well, I would allow it because you have to allow me a couple of people.
You a hooah. All right.
Well, you know, if like The Rock or Antonio Banderas, even though he's older now, or Jason Statham or Keanu Reeves or somebody,
a lot of dumb
somebody
people.
Rich and famous shows up, I'm gonna be like,
I'm starting to think that you just want to date somebody because they're famous. You don't actually.
No, I want the money. I'm all about the money.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like the cash. Like, then why are you with me? I'm broke as hell.
Because I love you. This is about love right here. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy birthday.
And then somebody said that's more than a couple.
What?
You're like a couple, and then she goes on a list.
Haters.
She goes on a list like 35 people.
Whatever. Who else is on your
list?
list?
Is pretty common conversation in our house. Not about her, not about all the people she wants to bang, but
she'll
say something like,
not that. I don't want that either. I just want the money.
You think anybody will give you the money if you ain't putting out the?
I guess. Oops.
Well,
anyways, let's talk about our next meeting.
That's why she stays with me, because I ain't got no money, and I don't get none of the other stuff either. So,
anyway, all right. Next
moving on to the return of the Men in Black franchise.
This is Men in Black.
It's Here Come the Men in Black.
Well, I'm singing about the movie.
This one's been upset because she's like, they didn't play the Men in Black theme song. That song was in the first movie only.
I thought it was in the second one.
Because you're a whack job.
Well, I think because Will Smith was there, so I just assumed I had heard it again. I don't know.
Anyway, so it's Men in Black International, and for those that don't know, you may not have known this. Before they were going to make this movie, the version we got, it was originally supposed to be a crossover film with the 21 Jump Street franchise.
21 Jump.
So they were going to basically make Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum were going to basically be recruited to join the Men in Black.
What?
So it was going to be...
That makes no sense, but funny.
Well, if you remember the end of 22 Jump Street, remember showing all of them in all the different movies? And
yes.
So they were going to make them because they were such great cops. They were going to get recruited for the Men in Black.
Wow.
And now we basically the Men in Black world really exists.
Right.
Remember, nobody would ever see it.
That's true, though. It does exist.
So that was the original plan. And then it got late during the Sony hack that was getting made. And then it was being developed.
Too bad.
And then they couldn't work it out. And so they ended up abandoning that. They retooled it and it became Men in Black International, which I've always thought from the very first Men in Black, when they decided to make the second one, that this was a franchise that they could have keep going forever, because you could have had different agents every movie. You know, it's kind of like The Purge. They could have a different family, a different thing.
I mean, there's like a gazillion stories happening every.
It didn't have to be
that nighttime of The Purge.
Yeah, it didn't have to be just Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. So had they decided to not do it, as happened, they could have easily moved on to a different set of agents and then just kept making them. And I don't think they were making as much money now or whatever. And like the new one didn't do very well. I think it made $100 and something million internationally, but I think it only made like 30 something million here, maybe 20, whatever it was, 28, which is a soft opening since the first three made like 50 something million on their opening weekend back then.
Yeah.
But anyway, going into the new one, it's kind of, there are nods to the original.
Yes.
So it is connected. It's not forgetting about them. But you just rewatched the originals.
I didn't. I honestly had no memory of seeing part 2 or 3. So I don't even know what happened.
You did say after we started watching the third one, you kind of remember.
It's like, oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I do. I have seen all of them.
Well, now you have because we watched them before we went.
No, but I had seen them before. I just had forgotten I'd seen them before. I don't know what that's about. But
so, what did you think of the new one? We always go to her if you're new to the show. I always go to her first because she usually has the least amount of knowledge of anything.
I have no knowledge of anything.
I do know.
I know this movie stars Thor and Valkyrie, and
the team up that we all didn't want because Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Why?
Go ahead.
I don't know. I liked them. And then it had Liam Neeson, who I still support. I love Liam Neeson. I understand him. Do we know that
Emma Thompson?
Yes.
Yeah, she's on the trailer.
Okay, Nanny McPhee is still there, which makes me happy.
She returned from number 3.
Yes, so I liked her. Oh, watch out, Megan. Be careful. I enjoyed the movie. I really did. I liked it. I liked that it carries on the same story, but that we get to see it now on the other side of the planet, if you will, of how it works.
What?
And you know how the British people think they're fancier than us, and so I like that they're like, oh, our organization's so much better than
that was just rude. You got a
but
snooty
that's what they think.
That's what they think.
And then they have tea.
They're rude and snooty and they have tea.
They have tea.
Well, there goes our international audience.
We love y'all. Anyways, no, I enjoyed it. I like seeing Liam Neeson do something here. And I always like seeing Chris Hemsworth be kind of fun.
Well, I think
funner.
Like whether you like the Ghostbusters movie that was made, which I enjoyed the movie. I like all the Ghostbusters movies. I don't care what anybody says, but I think that was a good starting point to see that he could be funny.
Yeah,
and he's good. I mean, he's not as dumb as it looked like they were going to make him from the trailers.
Yeah.
He's still kind of the hero, and and he still carries himself as such, but he's got a little bit of different swagger, and she's fine in it too. I didn't really want they have great chemistry because they've obviously worked together and stuff, but I would have liked to see a different team up just because we already have them in Thor and in Game and whatever, so that it just almost feels like, oh, here they are again. And I think that hurts the movie.
Off-putting?
It wasn't off-putting to me, but I think that hurts movies like this sometimes because there are people that go, oh, it's just another Thor team up,
yeah,
because they compare it to the other movie and not what they're watching.
Right.
This movie got destroyed by critics.
Really?
They got horrible.
Aww,
but it was one that audiences seemed to like it more than the critics liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was fine. I had a good time with it. I thought it was a little darker than the other 3.
Yeah, I did appreciate that.
It had some pacing issues here and there. It's a little clunky started. I did think it was a little rushed at the beginning to get to the point so they could have this mission, so they could get her into the Men in Black and then let's start. That part was a little rushed. It works.
Yeah.
But it would have been more interesting to see maybe the majority of the movie be about her trying to track it down and then them trying to stop her from finding them. And that might have been a more interesting story instead of the one they went with.
Yeah.
But it still works. I thought it was a fun addition. I was hoping that it would do well enough that we'd get more. I don't know if we will. I doubt it. I guess it's going to depend on its longevity. I will say that the one character I thought was going to be super duper annoying was one that was played by Kamal Nanjiani. I never can say his name. It's his little alien thing that he played in the trailer. I'm like, oh my god, I hope that's like a one scene because that looks annoying. He ends up being awesome. He was hilarious.
Yeah, I really liked it.
He worked well. It was a fun little character.
And then if you're like me and you watch every reality show out there, not really. I watch a lot of them. So from World of Dance, this was so fun. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't even care. I'm gonna tell you who's in it.
Okay, you tell us.
Les Twins, who were finalists in last season's World of Dance. They're pretty cool, man. And they show up in this movie, and immediately I'm like, why do I know these people? And of course, you're not supposed to talk during the movie. I talk through every movie, and I'm like, they were on World of Dance.
I will give her credit. She doesn't talk loud.
I don't.
She talks. She knows that I can't hear, so she tries to talk louder to me. Which I'm like, shut up! I don't want to hear whatever you're saying.
You need one of those funnel things.
I don't.
So I can
what's that to say?
I'm talking to the funnel. I liked the movie. I liked the effects. I liked all the stuff that was happening.
I will say I
fun.
wasn't happy that they went with almost all CGI effects. I missed man in suit stuff because the aliens are so much more clever when they're actually there. They were fine, but you could tell the difference. There was a little bit of a difference there with the aliens, although they still look great.
Attention.
Well, because you don't love anything. You're dead inside.
I love you, and
You're
I love
dead
cats.
inside. You're dead inside.
Most of the time, yes. But that's okay. I thought it was fine. I don't know why do critics hate it? Do they hate us?
I don't know. I mean, I can see people having issues with it. There's some little problems here and there. And it did feel a little bit off at first with not having Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith.
Yeah,
it very much felt to me like the first time I watched the Star Wars prequels, love them or hate them. The first time I saw it, I was like, what is wrong with this movie? And given episode 1, I love the movie, but there's still a lot of issues with it. My initial thought was like, okay, this feels weird not having Luke and Han and Leia and that people have probably used to. And that was a little bit at the beginning of this. Like, when are they going to show up? Where are they at? Emma Thompson was, the kind of the connection.
She's so pretty.
But she's also such a late entry to the thing that she's not really cemented enough to make it feel like a big connection for me.
Yeah.
Because, you had Rip Torn, who got into a bunch of trouble. I think that's why they replaced him. But I think he was part of the Me Too movement before the Me Too movement started. But he was kind of the go-to guy, and then Emma Thompson came in the third one for that bigger story, and then they brought her back again, and she worked for the film, and she's fine. It's kind of like had a little bump in the road there, but as a whole, I still enjoed it.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So hopefully, if you like Men in Black, you will go see it. Like Men in Black.
Maybe you'll go see it. Not yeah.
I was like, is Men in Black appropriate to say? But it's the movie Men in Black, not men dressed in black.
Somebody commented that the reason critics are like that is because they're critical.
Well, whatever.
I try to review everything for like my personal opinion, not like tell everybody else.
Don't be that one guy. There's one guy at the movie reviews. He hates every single movie, and he is not a nice man.
He talks about them bad a lot of times before the movie even starts.
He is
like,
so
this movie's
grumpy.
Gonna suck. I hate this. I don't know why I'm having to watch this today. I'm like, stay home.
I want to knock him down the stairs. If he happens to take a spill, it's not me.
Everybody will know it's you now after you already had a fight in the theater.
We did have a little altercation
a while back. We'll have to figure out what episode that was on that we talked about it. You can go find it.
Girl.
Anyway, moving on.
So
Men in Black International is in theaters now. It's part of the main thing. If you hate it, don't worry. You can still watch the other Men in Black movies, and it still exists just fine. It is not a remake. It is a sequel / soft reboot.
Extending the universe.
That's right. So get over yourself. Enjoy it. Just enjoy movies.
Be happy.
You know what? Keanu Reeves he gave a speech when he got his Hollywood Walk of Fame recently.
What did he say?
And he said, first thing out of the way, he just he's like, I love movies. Because I love making movies. I love watching movies. I just love movies.
There you go.
And I'm like...
And you sounded kind of like him. That intonation of the voice.
Anyway, he's fixing to start Bill and Ted 3, and I'm super excited. Do you know the premise of Bill and Ted 3?
Just be excellent to one another.
No, it's because they're now to the age in real life that they should have written the song to save the world. So the whole premise that I've read is that they're now there and they haven't written the song. So now it's like, what happens now? So anyway, moving on.
Okay, one more movie we watched. We watched the movie Murder Mystery. It's now available on Netflix, starring Jennifer Aniston. I'm not going to even go funny. And
we know you're not going to be funny.
Adam Sandler. So, tell me about this movie. What is it about?
Well...
What? Did you not enjoy it?
We'll talk about it. I did and I didn't. We'll talk about it.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
We'll talk about it. It's not... I didn't find it bad. I think it was a good movie. It's just... basically, the movie's about... I know I forgot about my shirt. I didn't have time to change.
What shirt?
I was going to wear one of my new... Whoop whoop! Shirt or whatever. And I forgot to put it on before I changed. I got busy with YouTube today. So, next week I'll try. But no, everybody was like, what the hell are you even talking about?
I have no idea what you're saying.
It doesn't matter. You'll find out later. Wow. Anyway, this new movie, it's about this married couple that go on a trip and they kind of mistakenly get thrust into kind of a live action Clue episode.
Yeah.
So it's trying to solve a murder mystery, quite literally. It's in the title. And then hijinks ensue. It's pretty easy. That's the easy thing. So Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler are Adam Sandler.
They're back.
They're the married couple in the film. And for those that don't already know this, I think everybody knows by now, but Adam Sandler is exclusive Netflix now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he sounds like a multi-million-dollar deal. That's why every movie he makes comes on Netflix.
Yeah.
That is awesome. He doesn't even have to worry about box office. He signed like I don't remember how many picture deal, but it was like, I'm talking 30, 40, 100, whatever $1 million for like a 6-picture deal with Netflix.
That is awesome.
So he did his stand-up special. He did this movie. That. He did a movie with David Spade, an action movie.
Comedy thing,
he did the Ridiculous Six. All these have been straight to Netflix. So like, and then one with Chris Rock about the kids getting married.
Yeah.
That was Netflix. All movies he makes comes on Netflix now.
Awesome.
So
I think it's a very smart idea. Why not?
It is, especially because, as most everybody knows, he hasn't had the biggest box office draw in a while. A lot of his movies were kind of.
What's your favorite
of all time?
Adam Sandler. I know what you're gonna say.
You know what? I don't really know.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think you'd say Waterboy.
No, Waterboy's funny, but that's no. I'm probably closer into The Wedding Singer and
I like Wedding Singer. I do love Wedding Singer.
I don't know.
What else? Give me 2 then. Wedding Singer.
I'm trying to think of what else.
Do you know what
I like Big Daddy. That movie's funny.
Do you know which one I'm going to say?
You're going to say Little Nicky. I can't stand that
My
movie.
mom's an angel.
I can't stand
I love
Nicky.
it. It's so dumb.
Happy Gilmore is another one that's a great one. So,
I like that one.
Little Nicky is one I so was excited to see that I saw it. I'm like, this movie is so bad. That was like, to me, I thought that was going to be the end of his career.
It's horrible, and I love it.
I just wasn't a fan of that one. But like some of his later ones I have enjoyed, and I've liked some of his serious roles he did. Oh, the one he did with Seth Rogen, Funny People. I think that's what it's called. I really like that. Yeah, Funny People, where he plays the stand-up comedian that has cancer or whatever.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
It's funny.
It's
a good movie. It's a drama / comedy. It's funny, and Seth Rogen's like a protege trying to learn from him, but he's also a douchebag kind of guy. Anyway, so.
Well, murder mystery, it is cliche. It is very much like Clue. It is kind of follow the numbers. But I enjoyed it.
It was funny. I mean, I enjoyed it too, but it was like, I think my problem with it is it seemed to drag on at times. It felt like every time something looked like they were finally going to get somewhere and have some closure, they did circle back to starting over again. And I just felt like, okay, are we going to go somewhere?
Well, the funniest part to me was they're with a bunch of people that they've just met. They're on this European vacation. And of course,
not National Lampoon's European vacation.
The funniest thing is, everybody's being questioned and they ask them, well, what is anything suspicious? And they're like, the Americans. And I'm like, yes, just blame us for everything. Which I thought was so funny because we are weird and we do stand out.
Well, the other thing I thought was the problem with the story, they were randomly blaming these 2 people for no apparent reason. It wasn't even like...
They were the only outsiders.
I know, but it didn't make any sense for what they were trying to do. It's just like they just kept going back to them and then it was very easily solved. That's the cliche stuff. It's like it's a throwaway fun movie.
It's fun.
It just... It was fine.
Jennifer Aniston is so pretty.
She is. I think she's finally, not in a bad way, she's finally starting to look like a little older. Like, not in a bad way. She's still beautiful. But she's finally starting to look like an older woman instead of just Jennifer Aniston forever.
I know. She's so good. I love it.
I don't like Adam Sandler in that mustache.
You don't like the little porty mustache?
No, he looks like he could play like Ron Jeremy in a movie right now.
Oh my gosh! Well, tell him.
Like, I don't mind him with the beard, the 5 o'clock shadow, or whatever. But just, I think I have a thing against people with just regular mustaches now. It just looks weird.
You're a hater.
I am. Time I see somebody just like my dad. My dad has a mustache.
That's why. Dun dun dun.
It's been solved.
The mystery.
No, it's like every time I see somebody just with a mustache, I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Commit, man.
You do.
You just gave up. You grew the mustache and then you just quit.
Nah.
Grizzly Adams, I'm shaved. I got my little beard here, but I shaved all the rest. I got aerodynamic here.
Yeah, someone said they liked your haircut, so thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
That was the beginning of the show. Anyways.
Oh, well, why did you wait till the end of the show to tell me? I would have been in a much better mood throughout the show.
Oh, my goodness. Anyways, check out the little movie, Murder Mystery. It's available on Netflix now. You're already paying for Netflix. Just watch it.
Just watch it. Stop complaining about stuff you've already paid for.
Yes.
It's essentially free because you paid for it.
It is. It's free. It's free TV, buddies. I love free TV.
Yeah, so I just realized going back, somebody mentioned my favorite film critic, the Grace woman. And now we're sharing the YouTube alongside her, so she might actually see this one day.
Let's tag at Grace whatever. We mentioned you. We don't want
at Grace Annoyingness.
Anyways. Okay, so that's everything we watched this week. Tell me what's coming out on the video or DVD.
Well, that is a valid question. I think it's kind of a small week. There is some good stuff coming out, though. We have Jordan Peele's Us coming to Blu-ray and DVD.
Actually, I got 5 on it. That was me killing you with my scissors.
Anyway,
did any of y'all figure out why the scissors? That is what I want to know.
They were going to do arts and crafts.
I don't know, but why scissors and not a knife? Did anybody get that? We're going to watch it again. We're going to watch all the special features. This is such an exciting version because you said it has the making of.
Yeah, and it says shooting, the thing called like shooting us twice because you got to shoot both sides. So Us is coming out this week.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Hold on, I'll close down the other thing by mistake. Wonder Park, which I haven't got my copy yet from the new animated film.
I want to see that. That's so cute.
It should show up. I don't know why it's not here. There's this movie coming out called Modest Heroes, which is like a little anime kind of thing, but it's basically 3 short stories. It's only like an hour long. It's actually really good.
Is it?
I'll be posting a review of this week, but it's one called Invisible. And it's like this invisible guy roaming around. It's like a metaphor of nobody pays attention to him, but he's actually invisible and will float away in the movie. There's this whole thing about a family that lives underwater, like underwater people.
Yes.
And dealing with that. And then there's another one about a little boy with an allergy and trying to go through his life with this allergy and is like allergic to eggs, so he can't eat anything. And his whole life is engulfed. Like every time he has a success, then something happens because you got to watch. You can't eat a cookie. You can't do this. And so it's a great little thing. So this is coming out from
Shout
Factory.
Shout
For their G Kids line. So Modest Heroes is coming out. Also, I believe it's this week, unless I missed it. Yikes. Slaughterhouse Rules, which is a kind of a horror comedy from I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe this is the first film from the new production company. I think it's Stolen Pictures, which is Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Yeah. This movie actually stars Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Michael Sheen.
I like Michael Sheen.
And then some Asia Butterfield and some other people. The premise is like this boarding school, but there's secrets. So there's
always secrets at boarding school.
But their secrets are like monsters and crap. So it's okay. It wasn't as great as I was hoping it would be, but it has some cool monster effects and some silliness. But
we want effects.
So this will be coming out.
Sorry, bringing that one full circle.
This came out last week, but just a reminder, I just finally got it, but we did post a review for it. Leprechaun Returns, which sadly this isn't Hornswoggle or Warwick Davis. This is a guy, Porco Linden or Linden Porco or something is his name.
Well, that's an unfortunate name.
Wow, that's hard.
Sorry, dude. Love you, but no.
He's a little person. And you're going to say he has an unfortunate name. Anyway.
Well, being little is not unfortunate. The name is.
It's like Porco Linden or something like that. Linden Porco. That's what it is.
Oh, well, that's not a... Linden's fine.
You don't
like Porco? Lyndon B. Johnson. It's very dignified.
Anyway, this is out now. This is actually a direct sequel to the original. So, where the other ones were
with Jennifer Aniston.
Yes. This is about the girl in this movie is Jennifer Aniston's character's daughter.
What?
But Jennifer Aniston is not in this movie.
Oh, too bad.
She was asked.
Did she?
And from what I heard, no, I've heard that she was going to do a cameo, and then
that would be cool.
Maybe she read the script.
Maybe she was busy.
But there is one actor that is from the original movie that came back.
Oh, that's good. I like when
kind of a hillbilly kind of character that he's back. So Leprechaun Returns. It's a fun little addition to the franchise.
Okay.
Also, there's a movie called Beach Bum that I've really been wanting to watch. I believe it's Matthew McConaughey, it's Snoop Dogg, and it's like this hippie whatever Hotel Mumbai, which I wanted to see, which was about the terrorists that took over the hotel in Mumbai. Yeah. There's a movie called Crypto, not about Superman's pet dog, but it's
like cryptocurrency or something.
Yeah, it's like a thriller, but it's Kurt Russell and what is the other guy's name? Liam Hemsworth, I think. It's one of the Hemsworth that does this. But that's coming out. And then I think those are the bigger ones. It's some random stuff coming out.
Okay.
So I think those are the big ones coming out this week.
Well, coming out of the theater, this is going to be an exciting week. This guy's really excited for Child's Play, the next installment.
Which has, let me tell you, if you haven't been keeping up with it, go look up the new Child's Play posters. Look up like Child's Play Toy Story. They've been putting out a poster almost every week. Yeah. Because it opens this week with
Toy Story 4.
So every poster is Chucky's arm with the knife in the dead body portion of one of the characters from Toy Story. And it says, meet your new best friend.
That's funny.
And so it's like a very fun campaign of competing.
That is funny.
Because it's really two different audiences.
This says it's a reimagining of the horror classic.
It is. It's basically...
So we're going back to the beginning, maybe?
They're remaking the original.
I got you.
But they're reimagining it because in the original story, the serial killer, his soul is put in the Chucky doll.
I remember that.
And so he's alive.
Yes.
The new one, it's a animatronic like robot toy that goes crazy.
It's AI.
Yes.
Skynet.
But I think it was hacked. That's my theory.
Oh,
I think somebody hacked it on purpose. But it's still Andy. It's still, I believe, Andy and his mom, and they buy the toy. But Aubrey Plaza plays the mom. Mark Hamill is the voice of Chucky.
That's gonna be so good.
But for those freaking out and that don't like the fact that this new Child's Play exists, they are making a Child's Play TV series that is part of the canon of the original stuff, with Brad Dourif playing Chucky as Norman. I love Aubrey Plaza, but she is crazed.
Who is that? Which one is that?
Aubrey Plaza is the one that was in Parks and Recreation. She was the secretary, the crazy girl that was dating Chris Pratt.
Yes,
Married that girl.
Yeah.
She's crazy in real life too.
Is she?
If you ever watch interviews, every one of you she does is weird.
You poor thing.
She's one of my favorites. I love her.
She seems just normal funny.
Oh no, she's crazy.
Poor
I don't know if it's just a craze to act. Like she did a movie I think called The To-Do List, I think it was, which was a great little summer type movie, but she's just wackadoo. Anyway.
All right. Well, Child's Play. And then, of course, Toy Story 4.
Right.
So you need to watch 1, 2, and 3. You do need
and
to
you
watch
definitely
them.
need to watch them because I've already seen Toy Story 4, and it is a direct connection. And for those that had a little bit of an issue, because 3 was a perfect end to the series, I agree with that. I didn't have any problem with them making a 4th one because I just love seeing the movie. Yeah. But this one actually felt like a more finite ending than the other one did. The way it ends. Okay. They can still do some other things, which we'll discuss later, because you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. I'm so excited.
She'll see it on Tuesday.
I'm going to see it Tuesday.
But I think this would be the end, the way they end it. But I could also see a lot of fun the way they go. And then that other one I'm looking forward to as well.
Okay. Anna?
Yes. That's the
one
new...
about the assassin girl. We don't really know.
Yeah, the one where it's like looks like a model and then comes and starts killing everybody.
Yes.
That's the new one.
It also has one of your other girlfriends.
Who?
Helen Mirren.
Oh, she is in that one, isn't she?
Yes. She's in charge of the assassin girl, I think.
Yeah, that's the new.
Oh, Luc Besson.
Yeah, he wrote and directed this one again.
Oh, so it might be a lot of good stuff in it.
Because he did Joy.
I'm excited.
He did not Joy. He did
the other
Lucy.
Girl.
Yeah. He's if you notice they haven't said his name in the trailers.
That's
and the reason being
here.
Is because that last movie he did bombed so bad.
Which one?
The one we ended up not liking as much, but it's pretty the sci-fi movie. What the hell is it called? I love the movie. It just didn't work all the way. What the hell is the name of that movie? Valerian.
Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, the story is a little clunky.
Well, yeah, it went on too late, but that was.
But it is beautiful.
That had been his passion project for years.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It did so well, so bad that I want to say they even closed down the production company because he fully funded that movie out of his own pocket.
That's too bad. I liked it.
It just didn't catch on like it should have.
Is that for real?
It's been announced for a long time.
Is that for real?
I don't know if it's going to happen. Which one are you pointing at first?
Both of these.
Oh, I didn't think you liked Lucy.
It was hard to watch because it was to me, it was like so violent and gritty.
Do you know what Lucy is?
Yeah, the one with what's her name?
Scarlett Johansson. Yes. I didn't think it was gritty.
Yes, because when they are like kicking her and beating her up, no, it's violent, and it got me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm mad.
Oh, and somebody posted that I excited for the Spork. The Spork is awesome. Yeah, I was a little off-put by him too, but his stuff is some of the most hilarious stuff in the whole movie. I was rolling. Everybody in the theater was rolling about it because his character is just so ridiculous. But he has how do I say it without being a spoiler?
Don't spoil the movie.
He has an issue, right?
Okay.
So I can't even tell you. You just got to see it. It's like I have a feeling you're going to love him too. I think a lot of people are going to start loving him.
Because he looks annoying.
And
I'm like,
he's not. He's not. But it's because there's a whole. I mean, it fits. It's a very important aspect of the story because it's an evolution of the little girl's character,
right?
Because of where they go with her character.
Yeah.
But his confusion about he doesn't think he's a toy. I'll just say that.
Right.
That's what makes it so funny. Is he doesn't think he's a toy.
Gotcha.
So then it goes in this whole direction. So I love the character. I was so happy for him and seeing it and the way they ended his arc in the movie too.
Okay.
So
well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll let y'all know.
Anyway.
All right. So that's really the big things coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
At the movies. Make sure you buy some popcorn.
What?
When you go to the movie, buy popcorn.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing Annabelle this week, but it doesn't come out till the following week.
Yes, don't get all.
Get to that, and then we got the screening for Spider-Man coming up.
Okay, don't.
The
get
final
crazy.
chapter in Phase 4 Marvel before they start. Did you know next year will be the first time we don't?
About any of these things?
We don't. Yeah, was it? You know, next year we don't get a single Marvel movie next year.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
They're Star Wars.
We won't have a Star Wars next year either. Rise of Skywalker comes out this December, and then.
But there's Star Wars TV show.
Yes, that starts this year too, though.
What are we gonna do?
What's
gonna be next?
I don't know. That might be the end of the life as we know it.
There has to be some.
Wonder Woman comes out next year.
Some other big series thing.
DC.
Oh, DC. Well, maybe DC will be doing some fun.
Who knows? We'll see. New Mutants might finally come out by then.
Who knows?
They keep saying it keeps getting pushed back and getting reshot, and then there's talk that's going to drop on Hulu, and then I have a feeling they're going to just dump it somewhere. I really want to see it. Do you even know what New Mutants is?
Yes, it's that show.
No.
Which one?
It's a movie.
What is it about?
It's an X-Men movie.
Oh, I know. Well, I know what the mutants are, but wasn't that a show?
No, that was Mutant X.
Mm,
and then you're thinking of that other show that got canceled that was part of the X-Men universe, Gift.
Yes.
No, New Mutants was a new movie they shot, and it was a horror themed. And the New Mutants were actually there was actually a comic called The New Mutants, which were basically students at Xavier's school.
Right.
They were New Mutants.
Right.
And the New Mutants eventually became X-Force years later in the comic stuff, which is Deadpool, Cable, not Deadpool, but Cable and Domino.
Not the one I'm thinking that fly through the sky in the plane.
What are you talking about?
X-Force or G-Force or whoever.
G-Force? Yeah, you mean you don't? Wow, not even near the same thing. You're a maroonish.
Anyways,
you're maroonish 5.
Move back to here.
Yeah. We also have some giveaways on our chat. We have some giveaways on our site. We still have General Commander, the new Steven Seagal movie to give away. I have a couple of entries on it, but I have enough of those that I may reach out to everybody that's ever entered anything and just send you a copy to make you suffer.
There you go.
Make you take it.
Take this movie. Watch
we have still got a few copies left of the Unity of Heroes, which is kind of a unofficial continuation of the Once Upon a Time in China franchise.
Oh, cool.
We have a copy of Scooby-Doo movies, Lost Episodes. Includes some of the episodes that haven't been released previously on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever. And then we have the Double Impact Rewind Edition Blu-ray. Jean-Claude Van Damme, where he plays twins, which is one of my favorites.
That's fun.
It's got Bolo in it. It was the second.
Is that the one where he's like the yoga teacher?
He is.
That's a good one.
And he's in his tights.
His little tights.
And he's getting the people to look at his booty while he's shaking in the splits.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes into class, and the guy that's in the classroom calls him a chump after he's picking on a white belt. And they're in Hollywood, and for whatever reason, some of the students are wearing peak uniforms. And it doesn't make any sense, but they're all white belts. And so he picks a fight with Van Damme, and Van Damme hook kicks him in the side of the face. And then the fight's over. And
all right, that was a lot of description. And enter the contents for the movie.
And it's basically the story is Double Impact. If you've never seen it, is they're twins at birth. Their parents are murdered, and they're split up, and they don't know that they have another sibling.
Right.
And then something else arises, and they get brought back together. And one of them's a hard-edged smuggler criminal. The other one's a highfalutin Hollywood
yoga instructor,
karate instructor, yoga/karate studio.
Okay.
And they come together and they're polar opposites. And he's like, I don't need you. And the other one's like, got his stogie and his stubble and his hair slicked back. And he's like, I'll kick your ass. And they fight in the movie. It's awesome. They beat the shit out of each other. They don't really fight because it's actually the same person.
Yeah.
But it also saw the return of Bolo, which was his rival in Bloodsport, which I'm a huge Bolo fan. So it was awesome. It's great.
There you go. All right. So, is that everything?
So, if you want to win a copy of Double Impact,
make sure you go to our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Go up to the top where it says Contest and make sure you enter. Please follow us on the Facebook or now on YouTube. Also, find us on Twitter at Hollywood Matter, MATR, and we are on Instagram at Hollywood Matrimony. That's all the plugs I had to do.
Yeah, and I am expecting some new giveaways soon.
Nice.
So keep
I love
up.
free stuff.
To win our giveaways, it already says on the site. But for all of them, you do have to follow all of our stuff.
Please follow the rules.
So yeah, you have to not only send me the information, like send me the answer to the question, but you do have to follow us and subscribe to our pages and our social media. And please, 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 please share our stuff out, especially this new YouTube channel, because the more that's shared, the more likes, the more followers, the more stuff we get to give away. So
I want some of that YouTube money. I don't even know how we got to do that, but I want some.
I don't care about the money. We just want to make sure that you guys get some fun stuff. And big shout out to Arlington. It was a great show yesterday. I had a blast. You didn't go because you're cheap.
Wow, I was busy.
But I gave away a ton of Captain Marvel posters. People were excited and stoked. Cool. I had one kid saw it, and I'm like, "When you want a Captain Marvel poster?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "It's free." And they're like, "You are the best. Oh, you're awesome." And I'm like, "I'm aware."
You're good, babe.
And I pushed him down. And I had a little kid dressed as the Lone Ranger give me a dime.
That's awesome.
His dad, was dressed as Johnny Depp Tonto.
Cool.
And the little boy was the Lone Ranger, and the daughter, I guess, she was dressed as a female Lone Ranger.
That's awesome.
And I just said, "Great costume," and then the little boy handed me a dime.
Oh, babe, that's awesome. So my favorite was the Child Predator.
Yes, I took a picture of a child predator.
I want that costume.
Is a child dressed as a predator?
That's what I want to be, because I'm child size.
You want to be a child dressed as a predator?
Yes.
This is our first and last YouTube show.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. I gotta go turn off all the cameras.
Yeah.
Bye.
We have no production value, and it will stay this way as long as we decide
until
to.
Our intern shows up. Bye.
So, peace and love.
Okay, I gotta get out of the couch, you guys.